Good morning. The scary thing about this whole thing is the baby was playing with this, and I went, oh, no, this is how it works. So I put it on, and of course the only reason I know is I had one. Can you see that? Can you see it? Are you sure? Can you see it really good? Here. Okay.
Whoa!
See?
Now I have to back up, Phil.
Okay. He kind of shy, though. He's shy. He's shy. Oh, a hair envy? Yeah, I guess. He does have a lot. So. Okay, sorry. Enough of you this morning. All right. Enough silliness. No. I have to tell you, interesting thing happened. Shannon, you have to hear this one. I was doing one of my Solarize meetings this week. We have one last Solarize meeting this week for Solarize Mid-Columbia. And before I was starting it at the library, this gentleman came up to me, and I don't remember his name. Sorry. But he introduced himself and said, do I know you? And I went, well, I don't know. Do you? And he goes, well, do you do YouTube videos? And I said, yeah. Our church does. And he goes, I'm one of your subscribers. Isn't that it? I was absolutely amazed. Gentleman has never been to the church. It's very different here than it actually is on the tube. We have lots of song and, we have a lot of fun. And, of course, it probably sounds like we do anyway. But I was blown away. That was so cool. Couldn't believe it. Please, communion, we need some folks to help us with that. So we have the sign-up sheet starting July 14th. So another couple of weeks from now, if you would mind. Pass it. Okay. Pass it. Okay. Oh, sorry. We do have a couple patron saints, though. And people wonder why I do this and kind of tell jokes and act a little silly. Well, why not? It was the one thing that we couldn't do when I was a kid going to church. So guess what? That's the way we start church services, having fun. George Lennon, I did it again. John Lennon and George Carlin. Don't do that.
Hey, George and John.
Okay. All right. Yeah. John, we've got this gift of love, but love is a precious plant. You can't just accept it and leave it in the cupboard or just think it's going to be by itself. You've got to keep watering it. You've got to really look after it and nurture it. Spoken like a true historian. And George, I did this all yesterday. Came into church early, got all this stuff done yesterday, so I haven't even looked at it this morning. So I don't remember what I did yesterday. So, okay, let's see. Oh, here we go. And I've done this one before, but it's still true. Atheism is a non-profit organization. It's true. By and large, language is a tool for concealing the truth.
Or speaking.
Yep. All right. Oh, things that are going on at the church. Well, of course, we have a guest speaker today. That's always a wonderful thing. The only thing on the calendar this week is Mind Shifters. Everything else is crossed out. Is there anything else going on?
Next Sunday. How about Daryl's going to announce stuff next Sunday?
You mean Drumming Sunday?
Bear's going to announce stuff next Sunday.
Oh, are you? What are you going to announce? Oh, for the expo stuff? Oh, next Sunday, Bear will be here. Yay! He is here now. Next Sunday, he will be announcing stuff about the expo, how we did, what we're going to do next year, and all of that stuff. So that will be a wonderful thing, because guess what? He is the voice of the Northwest Healing Spirit Expo. So.
Videos keep going up.
Yeah?
The views.
Cool.
For the expo, the main was 35 now.
Cool.
And everything is like over 20.
Cool. Wonderful. Outstanding. The Simpsons creator, Matt Groening, named the characters Homer, Marge, Lisa, and Maggie after his real-life father, mother, and two sisters. The Simpsons' hometown of Springfield is named after Groening's hometown of Springfield, Oregon. So, Wow, I got a reaction out of that one.
Do any of his relatives have liver problems? Is that why they're yellow?
I have no idea. I don't want to even go there. A fashion is nothing but an induced epidemic. Sure. Nothing is impossible for the man who doesn't have to do it himself. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, flowers, Trudy, there's no way I could do something like that. And I always know if I walk in here and I haven't seen Trudy, if I walk in and I see flowers, where's Trudy? There she is. Trudy does that just. And I've told you before, and I will tell you in front of God and everybody, you don't have to do that to be here.
Oh,
Just want to make sure you know that. But it sure is nice. That's correct. Habits form a second nature. Habits form a second nature. They do. When people are free to do as they please, they usually imitate each other. Don't imitate. No, not a good thing probably. Don't buy the house, buy the neighborhood. It's a Russian proverb. Russian proverb. Bear will like that one. Bear's a realtor if you didn't know that. Or even if you did. And a darn good one. That's correct. A little boy wanted to meet God. He knew it was a long trip to where God lived. So he packed his suitcase with a bag of potato chips and a 6-pack of root beer and started his journey. When he had gone about 3 blocks, he met an old man. Probably younger than me. He was sitting in the park just staring at some pigeons. The boy sat down next to him, opened his suitcase. He was about to take a drink from his root beer when he noticed that the old man looked hungry. So he offered him some chips. He gratefully accepted and smiled at him. His smile was so pretty that the boy wanted to see it again. So he offered him a root beer. Again, he smiled at him. The boy was delighted. They sat there all afternoon eating and smiling, but they never said a word. As twilight approached, the boy realized how tired he was, and he got up to leave. But before he had gone more than a few steps, he turned around back to look at the old man and gave him a great big hug. He gave him the biggest smile ever. When the boy opened the door to his house a short time later, his mother was surprised by the look on his face. She asked him, "What did you do today that made you so happy?" He replied, "I had lunch with God." But before his mother could respond, he added, "You know what? He's got the most beautiful smile I've ever seen." Meanwhile, the old man, also radiant with joy, returned to his home. His son was stunned by the look of peace on his face, and he asked, "Dad, what did you do today that made you feel so happy?" He replied, "I ate potato chips in the park with God." However, before his son responded, he added, "You know, he's much younger than I expected." Too often, we underestimate the power of a touch, a smile, a kind word, a listening ear, an honest compliment, or the smallest act of caring, all of which have the potential to turn a life around. People come into our lives for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Embrace all equally. Have lunch with God. Bring some chips. Isn't that cute? We do have a potluck today. Cool. Thank you, Joe and Val and whoever else, everybody that brought food. That's always a good thing. And if you didn't bring anything, it's okay. Please stay and eat. Have fun. Well, goodness. Yeah, what's that potluck right now? Why are they all called apartments when they are all stuck together? Why do we leave cars worth thousands of dollars in our driveways and put useless junk in our garage? Ever wonder why the sun lightens our hair and darkens our skin? I know why, but it's too complex. So. Horses once outnumbered humans in the United States. As late as the turn of the present century, rural areas... Oh, this was written last century. Okay, so turn of the last century, before the last one. Rural areas frequently averaged a dozen or more nags to a family. Many were used for plowing and pulling farm apparatus. But a man of any position who owned a pair of dashing buggy horses, and enough saddle horses for each member of the family to have his own. Range land was plentiful, and it cost little to keep animals. So the man who had only one horse was operating on a very small scale indeed. His more prosperous neighbors tended to be a bit contemptuous to such a fellow, and any enterprise with limited resources came to be termed a one-horse affair. Now you know where that one came
Poor
from.
man, he only had one man.
I know. I am not going to make a comment at all about that. Not even going there. Heroes. What a guy in a boat does. He rows. He rows. Okay? And he rows, and he rows, and he rows. Left bank. What the robber did when his bag was full of money. I know, they get worse. Misty. How golfers create divots. Miss T. Okay. Paradox. Two physicians. Okay. What's I going to do with this one? Was I going to do that? Oh, okay. All right. These are riddles, okay? A murderer is condemned to death. He has to choose between 3 rooms. The first is full of a raging fire. The second full of assassins with loaded guns. And the third is full of lions that haven't eaten in 3 years. Which room is safest? The lions. They haven't eaten in 3 years. They're dead. Okay. One more. Anything going on besides, stuff that I should know about? What are we doing? We're doing a picnic, aren't we? Later in the summer, early fall, something?
First part of September?
First part of September? Something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah, more than likely, unless we change, you'll be back at Columbia Point. Seems to we've done it there for the last, 3 years now? So it is a nice place. I'm trying to remember, we've been all over the Tri-Cities. We've done picnics, summer picnics, 16 years. Amazing. It doesn't hurt to take a hard look at yourself from time to time, and this should help you get started. I've done these things before, but they're still fun, and there's some people that haven't heard them. So, during a visit to the mental asylum, a visitor asked the doctor what the criteria was for which defined whether or not a patient should be institutionalized. Well, said the doctor, we fill up a bathtub, then we offer him a teaspoon, a teacup, and a bucket to the patient and ask him or her to empty the bathtub. Oh, I understand, said the visitor. A normal person would use the bucket because it's bigger than a spoon or a teacup. No, said the doctor, a normal person would pull the plug. Do you want a bed near the window? Okay, let's do a song.
Who's normal?
Yeah, I know, for sure. There they are. We're going to do a song that I'm sure we've done before, but I sure don't have any recollection or anything written as to when. So we may not have done this before or for a long, long time. So this should be fun.